New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Live from a secure concrete bunker somewhere in Ohio, New Thought Media Network presents Pastor Michael Mangus with Friday's Fireside Chat, spiritual conversation for today. Here he is from the secret radio room, surrounded by thousands of watts, Pastor Michael Mangus.
And as the thousands cheer in the background, hello there. Good evening, welcome. You are watching another fun-filled throw-packed, and yes, it is guaranteed, always exciting edition of the Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. I am Reverend Michael Mangus, again, broadcasting from the super secret radio room inside the concrete bunker. That is so top secret that only one person, that is Diego Reyes, who has the night off, which I'll tell you why in a moment. Only he knows where the top secret radio room in the concrete bunker is located. No one else knows where it's at, especially my boss, the Reverend Robert Brzezinski. He has no clue where the super secret concrete bunker is located, and we are going to keep it that way. Well, hi there. Good evening. We do have a wonderful show for you tonight. Again, please feel free to interact with us by posting your comments in Facebook and also on YouTube. And again, for all my shy people out there, I know you're out there. You don't comment. You don't interact. That's okay. I forgive you. But send me an email, pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com. pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com. The purpose of our get-together weekly is to talk about contemporary issues from a New Thought perspective. We're going on 3 years now. And as I keep saying, I want us all to have a new thought about all that is going on around us and also our part in it and our part to be able to heal it. We talk about oneness every single Sunday at our centers. So now we have an opportunity here to practice this in the world. We have a return guest this evening. So honored to have him here. All the way from the great state of Tennessee, Reverend Jeff Radcliff will be with us here in about 25 past the hour. He is an ordained divine science minister. And I was honored to see Jeff ordained at last year's International New Thought Alliance World Congress in Chicago. And Jeff is a wonderful gay man who has a wonderful perspective about the world and how that we all can be allies. So that is at the probably about 25, 30 minutes past the hour, we will have on the Reverend Jeff Radcliff. All right. So this evening, the reason I don't have a producer is because Gary Lynn Floyd is in concert in Reverend Robert Brzezinski's and Laura Brzezinski's living room. So I get a phone call and a text saying, would it be okay if I took the evening off? And this is talking about Diego. If Diego took the evening off to eat some good food, eat Laura's good food, which is excellent, by the way, and also to watch Gary Lynn Floyd. And I said, okay. So while I am working behind the hot microphone, they're enjoying themselves over it. They're enjoying themselves over at the Brzezinski household. So, Jeff, this is our opportunity this evening to take over the network, right? Oh, we'll have fun tonight. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good to see everyone this evening. Let's take a look now at the news from CNN. Our first story this evening is about an app you probably use, like I do, and that is TikTok. Is TikTok a national security threat? Well, TikTok CEO Shou Chew testified on Thursday before Congress as scrutiny mounts over the app's ties to China and its potential risks to national security. It was a rare chance for the public to hear from Chew, who offers very few interviews. Yet his company's app is among the most popular in the US, with more than 150 million active users. So the hearing, which lasted for five hours, kicked off with calls from a lawmaker to ban the app in the US, and they remained combative throughout. Numerous members of Congress interrupted Chew's testimony to say that they simply don't believe him. Do you use TikTok? Huh? Well, now, personally, I love the app. All right. If there is a tracking component on there, that is a national security risk, maybe we should get rid of it. And let me just say that if they did, then someone else would go ahead and move into showing short videos, because that's what TikTok is known for. So personally, I always tell all my younger members of my congregation, especially on their work computer, don't have any apps on your computer. Don't have any game apps, and limit your time on there with the internet use. Why? Because your computer department, your IT department tracks all of those. So I know that when I was working at the county many, many years ago, a government job, I had no personal email through my county email at all. And I did not go online at all. So heck, you can use your phone now. Okay. In other news this evening, the weather forecast is calling for rain, and more rain. The same system that brought rare tornadoes to California this week will trigger widespread severe thunderstorms today for the Mid-South and also the Ohio Valley. More than 20 million people are under flood watches today, as a large swath of the U.S. stretching from Oklahoma to West Virginia is under severe storm watches. The storm has already passed through the Oklahoma-Missouri border late on Thursday, according to the Weather Prediction Center, drenching parts of the state with several inches of rain. And this week there was a school strike. Los Angeles schools will reopen today following the conclusion of a massive 3-day strike over wages and better working conditions. Thousands of school workers began picketing on Tuesday after nearly a year of unsuccessful negotiations with the school district, leaving more than 500,000 students. That's a lot of people. 500,000 students out of class this week. Though the strike may be over, frustrated members of the workers' union say that they still feel undervalued by low pay, minimum staffing, and also inadequate hours, as they provide essential services to the nation's second largest school system. Among their demands, workers are calling for a 30% pay raise to boost their average salary, which is currently at $25,000 a year. All right. My commentary is this. On the average, school workers and teachers are underpaid. These are the individuals who we entrust our little children to during the day to educate them, making only $25,000 a year when the average apartment in LA is $2,800 a month is just inhumane. These are the workers that assist with security. They help with the school lunch program, and also they act as teachers' assistants. So my question is, where do our priorities lie? And here in Ohio, I know that the administrators, not the teachers, but the administrators, they make 3 to 4 times the amount of money that the classroom teacher makes. So please support the teachers and also the support staff at your local school. I know that the local elementary school in my neighborhood is almost at capacity because we've had a large immigrant population move into my neighborhood. So please thank a teacher or staff worker for their service, because they are educating, again, young minds that will be there when we're long gone. So are you planning on taking a trip this year? Well, I would say to apply for your passport now. Amid unprecedented demand, the current wait time for a regular U.S. passport has soared to around 10 to 13 weeks. 3 months to get a passport. Now, if you get it expedited, now you go ahead and you pay extra money for that, it's 7 to 9 weeks. The State Department is currently getting 500,000 applications a week for passports. So this comes after the department has launched a pilot online renewal program so that Americans who already have passports can renew online, but it has now called a halt to it to make sure that they can fine-tune and improve the system before they roll it out in a bigger way. Also in the news, we also have more than 1 million people took to the streets across France on Thursday, with protests turning violent in some areas as demonstrators voiced their fury at proposed pension reforms. Following flare-ups in Paris and regional capitals, at least 80 people were arrested and 123 police officers injured. Thursday was the 9th day of strikes in the country and the first coordinated action since the French government pushed a bill to increase the retirement age from 62 to 64 through Parliament last week without a vote. Wow. So here in the U.S., again, there's been a hike in the retirement age also. And in this country, individuals pay into the Social Security system. So it's not a perk or an entitlement. It's something that, again, that we have paid into. Again, the biggest voting bloc in our country is over the age of 55. And so understand now, this is coming from a spiritual viewpoint here, understand your government check every month is not your source. Spirit or God is. Now, please do not say, I suggest, don't say that you're on a fixed income. Who fixed it? I daily, someone who does receive a pension, I work on my prosperity consciousness daily to allow more supply in my life. Again, if we believe that there is a universal substance that surrounds us, this substance takes the form and shape of, again, of our consciousness, or the sum total of our thoughts and beliefs. And same thing goes with, again, with the news that we've received this week about the international banking crisis. Again, be at peace. Know that, again, that spirit is our source. I'm not saying don't take action, because sometimes you're guided in direction to take action. But I'm just saying, again, our reliance needs to be on spirit. In other news here from the Ukraine, here's the latest. Deadly Russian strikes overnight killed 3 in the eastern Donetsk region and 2 in the northern region of Sumy, officials say. Russian airborne troops are playing a greater role in the fighting around Bakhmut as the Wagner private military companies face growing losses, Ukrainian military says. And I've also read reports where the Ukrainian forces are saying that the Wagner forces are on drugs because they are going out on the front line, unarmed, to dig trenches. Interesting. The Indian Air Force says Russia is unable to honor its arms delivery commitment due to the war in the Ukraine, placing a potential strain on relationships. Hello there. How are you this evening? This is a Friday evening fireside chat here on your New Thought Media Network. This is Reverend Michael, and I am going to go to our last story here, which myself and our guest this evening will talk a little bit more about. Protesters threaten violence at Chardon Drag Brunch. Chardon is around 45 minutes northeast of me, where I'm located here in Akron, Ohio. Protesters are threatening to bring guns to an April 1st drag brunch at Element 41 in Chardon, according to the restaurant's owner. Now, this is being sponsored by the Community Church of Chesterland, which is wonderfully LGBTQIA plus friendly. Great community that they have up there. So the pancake brunch will offer 2 morning seatings for ticket holders over the age of 18. Okay, so no kids are allowed on this. Money from the breakfast and show will benefit a local family who lost a mother and breadwinner. Tickets are they're sold out. One woman called and said that she will have 100 people with concealed carry permits outside the event, said the owner and executive chef of the restaurant. Paul Mendolera, I think I pronounced his name correctly. Mendolera has owned the restaurant since 2017 and has supported LGBTQ plus causes in the past. His haters are calling up the restaurant, Element 411, and calling it a pedophile restaurant, and claims its actions are lowering local property values in the town. They've accused him on telephone calls and also online of grooming children to be pedophiles, and said, I hope your place burns down. Isn't that cheery? There's an apartment above the 68-seat restaurant. It's home to a family of 4. So they're throwing hate at our restaurant and putting a family's life in danger, said Mendolera, as post inflame Element 41 social media, particularly its Facebook page. Not only are the threats unnerving, but they're also interfering with the restaurant's operations. So the threats come on the heel of recent protests in Ohio communities and elsewhere in the country. On March 11th, a rock and roll humanist drag queen story hour, took place in Wadsworth Memorial Park, which is real near me also. The event featured drag queens reading a story to attendees. Again, understand that the reason the kids were there was because they were brought by their parents or adults. All right? Do we understand that? Okay. So the event, again, featured drag queens, again, reading the story. Nearby, protesters, including white supremacists, neo-Nazis, and also Proud Boys, clashed with the LGBTQ plus supporters. 2 men were arrested and charged with disorderly conduct. Unlike the Wadsworth event, the Chardon Drag Queen Brunch requires ticket holders to be 18. And again, because of the growing unrest around drag events, the organizers, the church, are having to hire extra security and also purchase metal detection wands. So when we hear stories like this on the news, we must remember that love is stronger than hate. Love is stronger than hate. The change in attitude about the LGBTQ plus communities has been because, over the past 50 years, has been because of education and also individuals coming out to family and friends. The transformation is happening, even though it seems slow. Oh, again, by the way, adults take the children to Drag Queen Story Hour. It is by their consent that they go. The fundraiser in Chardon is for those 18 years of age and older. So, the same Constitution that's providing an avenue for these protesters to go ahead and to say their piece is also the way that the organizers are doing also with the drag show. Aren't they allowed to express? And you're protesting a fundraiser for adults? I don't understand. Quit blaming the ills of society on individuals who dress in drag. Question instead this: what you're being told by the right-wing media and other hate groups whose sole purpose is to make money by inciting hate, violence, and misinformation. You have been entertained for years by individuals in drag on both movies and media. And RuPaul's Drag Race has been on TV for 15 seasons. 15 seasons. And you're complaining about drag queens now? If you really care about our children, demand common sense gun control. That's right. Well, hi there. Good evening. Welcome. This is the Friday evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. Lots of people commenting. Let's see here. I'm going to check them out here in just a second. As I go up here. That's my banner. Let's see who's with us this evening. Wayne Baldwin is with us this evening. Again, howdy from Calgary. So you don't study the Bible? Now that's a wrong tack to take with me, Morning Star. Yes, I do. And that, again, homosexuality wasn't mentioned in the Bible until, again, maybe the 30s or the 40s. And also, what is, when they say homosexual in the Bible, they're not referring to male prostitution. They're not referring to people who love each other. So don't get me started about, I read the Bible, but see, the challenge is this. You go, and thank you. The challenge here is that individuals who interpret the Bible do it through their lens and through their glasses. So that's the reason why, if you are a student of the Bible, as I hope that you are, like I am, I read my Bible every day. I read the Bible because, again, it enriches me. It's a wonderful book. But again, it's a book that was written by men, inspired by God. All right? Hi, Mindy. Yes, exactly. And Zoe, hi, Zoe. It says prejudice requires ignorance and fear. Both are curable. Yes. And again, that's why I'm saying that love is the answer. Love is the answer. And again, we love by attending events like this in safety and also supporting our brothers and sisters. And again, that if we don't, what happens again, that again, it continues. All right. Well, hey, good conversation this evening. Really, really appreciate it. All right. Let us go now to announcements. Yours truly is currently parking himself at Summit Center for Spiritual Living here in Akron. For more information, go to summitcsl.org. There and only there, you'll find information about our wonderful Sunday gatherings online at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific time. Grab your cup of coffee, your tea, your espresso. For all my Irish people out there and anybody else, yes, you can go ahead and spike it a little bit if you want. Have some Irish coffee. I do believe that we have one of the best services in New Thought. And so this Sunday, our speaker will be music director John Miller. Go on summitcsl.org for more information on how to join our Zoom call. And our service is also simulcast on the Summit Spiritual Center of Akron Facebook page. And our Facebook page also has past broadcasts of the Fireside Chat and yours truly when he is praying on the New Thought Media Network. We have so much going on in the background with new programs, new presenters, and also a brand new network that we will be premiering here in the next few weeks. Please go to ntmedia.org. And if you could, check out our donate page. For us to be able to speak out, speak up. Again, not only takes bravery and guts on our part here, on your presenter's part, but also on the network. This network supports us by speaking out, speaking up, and also saying a kind word in love. So again, help us out here. We also have empowering things coming up, empowering classes that really will change your life as you change your thinking. So go to ntmedia.org/donate, and we would really appreciate that. Again, good conversation this evening. Let's continue that. We're going to take a break right now, and then we will be back with our special guest, Reverend Jeff. And so this is the Friday Evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network.
Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, for your continued support. Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown Atlanta, for your monthly contribution. Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, for your monthly contribution. And please help us welcome Om Center for Spiritual Living in La Mesa, California. Thank you for your monthly donation. Thank you, Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, for your most generous donation. And a special thanks to Hefferlin Foundation for your generous technology grant. And Suze Ajit, thank you for your very generous donation. And a super special thank you to Dr. Tracy Brown, RSCP. Thanks for being a super donor. And a big shout out to all our committed donors.
Choice, your creative superpower. We have the power to manifest as we dedicate attention to our thoughts, but often miss opportunity to achieve the greatest good. Your superpower is waiting to be unleashed to unlock a fuller, more rewarding world for all. Join us every Thursday at noon Mountain Time for Choice, your creative superpower with Zoe DeMuro.
The views and opinions expressed by Pastor Michael Mangus are generally right. However, they are his own and do not reflect the views and opinions of New Thought Media Network, Centers for Spiritual Living, or any other person living or dead. As they say in the 12-Step Recovery Program, take what you like and leave the rest. Here again is Pastor Michael.
I just got a phone call from the legal department saying, you better play that tonight. We have as our very special guest in the second half of our program, a friend of mine, Reverend Jeff Radcliff. He is an ordained minister in the metaphysical tradition. He was ordained by the International Metaphysical Ministry in 2011, where he was also awarded a bachelor's degree in metaphysical science. He's currently working on his master's degree from IMM. Also, Reverend Jeff was also ordained in the Divine Science denomination of New Thought in 2022. I was very honored to see him get ordained at the International New Thought Alliance. Reverend Jeff is available for usual ministerial duties such as weddings, memorials, funerals, animal blessings, home clearings, and also blessings. He also offers spiritual counseling, intuitive channeling directly from spirit, energy healing, and all kinds of cool stuff. So it is my honor to present here on our program this evening, Reverend Jeff Radcliff. Hello, sir. Welcome.
Hey, how are you, Reverend Michael?
I'm doing good. Well, so what did you think about my news portion?
Oh, well, I'll tell you, all this drag queen stuff has got me. It's got me. The older I get now, the more I understand why roosters scream at the start of their day, because every day it's something different, but it's all tied in with a dude in a dress, and it makes no sense to me.
It's been happening. I mean, there's been drag performers for centuries.
My God, I grew up watching Bugs Bunny put on ladies' clothing, and a lot of us have seen the Three Stooges,
right?
Klinger in MASH,
right?
We've been doing it for centuries, like you say.
But the reason that these far right groups are coming out to protest, especially here in Ohio, and we'll talk about your state here in just a moment, the state of Tennessee. The reason they're coming out is because they think that we are indoctrinating our children by taking them. Now, first of all, let's understand that children do not drive, okay? So they come to these drag queen readings at local libraries because adults take them. Okay.
Exactly.
So this whole idea of indoctrination is crazy. The reason that libraries and librarians are supportive of this is because, again, to really show inclusivity and to teach our children about inclusivity, about, again, honoring people and, again, of all traditions and also all entertainment. So what do you think about that, Reverend Jeff?
Well, I have not yet seen a public drag performance at the many pride festivals that I've been to that has sexualized children or tried to indoctrinate them in any way, shape, or form. Now, I have been in some gay bars, late in the evening, because they'll tell you the show starts at 10, but let me tell you, honey, those drag queens, they don't come out until midnight. They are on drag time. They are taking their sweet time.
Okay.
And yeah, they can get a little raunchy, but number one, we're in usually what is a private club,
Right.
and it is late at night. So unless little Johnny is hanging out after midnight at the Bottoms Up bar, I'd say the drag queens reading a story to your kids at your local public library is the least of your worries.
So
It just it
so,
boggles the mind.
so in your state,
The state of confusion.
Tennessee drag performer says that community is very vulnerable after drag ban signed into law. Maren Morris is taking a stand. She's a country singer.
I love her.
Yeah, she against the Tennessee controversial drag show bill while performing at the Nashville Bridgestone Arena on Monday night for the Love Rising, an all-star benefit concert for the LGBTQ causes. The country singer says, I introduced my son to some drag queens today. So Tennessee can't arrest me. I can't say those words on the air. Okay. So again, Marion Morrison and also Alexa Noel performed at Love Rising. The ticket proceeds benefited the local advocacy groups, including Tennessee Equality Project, Inclusion Tennessee, Out Memphis, and also the Tennessee Pride Chamber. And donations were being matched by foundations created by Grammy winner Brandy Carlisle and the family of the late Nashville singer-songwriter John Pride. Morris's latest comments, this is from the news article from Query, come on the heels of Tennessee Governor Bill Lee's recent signature on a law restricting drag performances on public property, which was passed earlier this month. So its language prohibits adult-oriented entertainment harmful to children, including by male and female impersonators.
Pretty sick stuff, huh?
You know, I'll finish up here. It says, during a January episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, which has been on the air for 15 seasons since 2009. All right. The country singer served as season 15 guest judge and shared a heartfelt moment with contestants on the rocky relationship between the country music industry and the LGBTQ community. And let me tell you something, she's really taken, especially among the audience of country music, that she's really taken a real risk by coming out and supporting her brothers and sisters. Let's see here. She also apologized for how country music treats LGBTQ members. And in August, she made waves after calling out Brittany Alden, who is the wife of country singer Jason Alden, for making transphobic comments on social media. Reverend Jeff, what the HE double toothpicks is going on down in Tennessee? Don't you have anything else better to do down there rather than pick on drag queens?
Most of us do. But don't forget, we have got a Republican supermajority in the state house here in Tennessee. And so I am a member of Faithful America, which tries to show that not all Christians are the hateful, unloving people that we're starting to see more and more these days. And they'll say, contact your local representatives, contact your senators and your House members. There's no point. I will sit down and I will write them a letter, and I will get a very nice form letter back saying, well, you know what? We'll take it under consideration. But as long as the Republicans are in charge of the House and the Senate, as well as the governorship, people like us don't stand a chance, which is why it is important for us to get out and vote our conscience.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
either we're outnumbered, and I don't believe that Democrats are outnumbered, or Democrats just want to sit on their lazy behinds and let the world go by. And I can't imagine that either. But something's got to give. It's crazy. This is the state where the lieutenant governor, and I don't know if you saw this in the news, it's been in the news the past few days. There's a guy on Twitter who likes to show him, or maybe it's TikTok, I don't remember. It's one of those. Likes to show himself off. He's this skinny little Twinkie guy, you know. And for those who don't know what a twink is, it's these little skinny waif-like, hairless, flaming, you know, homosexual boys that. Well, anyway, this kid will take very provocative photographs of himself and post them on social media. And our lieutenant governor, the old guy that he is either not paying attention to what he's commenting on, or he's very much aware of what he's commenting on, because he has said some very sexually charged things in encouragement to this kid.
Wow.
And yeah, so what's going on with them? I have no freaking idea. They have got, they're paying lip service to their base while ignoring their constituents, is exactly what they're doing.
And that I think it's being fueled by especially the right-wing radio, that they get listenership, and it's across the board, folks. It's not just certain radio groups. It's all of them that, again, that allow these right-wing viewpoints instead of having a balanced viewpoint. This didn't happen when we had the fairness doctrine. So there, again, when we had the fairness doctrine,
No.
which I think was, what now? Go ahead, Jeff.
It's been quite a while ago.
Yeah, well, it was, Bill Clinton went ahead and dismantled that. So it was one of the Democrats, but still that there is not a balanced viewpoint given on our media. And so again, it's done for money. That's the reason. It's not done because of political ideology or people believing in one way or the other. It's done because that they have a base that listens to that every single day. Sean Hannity has 4 million, 4 million listeners every day to his program. And that's only Sean's show. So this whole idea again that the there's a lot of misinformation in this country, and especially towards the LGBTQ plus community. That's the reason why many of our communities are many of our religious communities and our spiritual communities go out and support Pride. I think what the Community Church of Chesterland is doing is really brave by putting on this drag brunch, and that again, that they're a wonderful church up there, and again, very inclusive. They have a gay man who's their pastor, who's who's working on his doctorate in ministry right now, and so they're very very inclusionary up there. So the only way that we're going to be able to, again, is to make headway, is to be able to, again, to speak up, speak out, again, and do our own work in consciousness. Your comments, Reverend Jeff Radcliff.
Yeah. First of all, when it comes to the fairness doctrine, that was in play mostly with media outlets who were giving unequal time to one candidate over another. And so the fairness doctrine came about where if you express this viewpoint on your airwaves or in your newspaper or magazine, you have to provide an equal footing for opposing viewpoints. Well, then along comes Rupert Murdoch, who puts together an organization which the Supreme Court has upheld that it is not a news organization, it is an entertainment outlet. But still, in my mind, I'm not sure why the fairness doctrine still does not pertain to that. But it's a moot point now that it's dismantled. But that's why Fox News can get away with saying some of the stuff that they do, because they're entertainment. But you're right. This is work that needs to be done, first of all, in our consciousness, because what we see in the world around us is created twice. First, in our minds, as we desire to see it, and then when it outpictures in the material world.
Mhm.
So we've got a job to do. If we are progressive and we are spiritual, or one or the other, or both, we've got work to do to turn this thing around.
We've had some wonderful comments from Mendy, who says, well, Uncle Milty was in drag, which is true here.
Yeah, well,
She also said,
I know Mindy. We have to be careful with her. She drinks, so
the views and opinions expressed are those who gave them.
We grew up together. She was a year ahead of me in school.
Mendy says, she says, I have friends who were dropped off as children at the Catholic Church into the hands of a real pedophile. Yes.
Yeah.
I grew up Catholic, and man, the atmosphere in the church is one of, well, as long as we don't rock the boat, that's okay. So, let's smooth things out.
And
so,
you mentioned teachers in your newscast earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody else sees them or not. I see them through my news feed all the time. Teachers getting in trouble for having illicit relationships with their students,
Mm-hmm.
which is the same thing. We don't have any drag queens involved with that, but yeah.
Well, again, and I think that that the individuals who are inciting the hate, this is all about, again, of getting people angry enough to go ahead and to protest not only the public event that happened in Wadsworth, but protesting an event of 8 of adults going to a drag show as a benefit for a family in their area.
Mhm.
I don't understand that. Again, people going out there and screaming and yelling about they're pedophiles, and the restaurant itself, Element 41, is dropping property values. That's a bunch of
Yeah.
that's a bunch of stuff.
Right.
Okay, so this is what Mendy said about your comments about her drinking.
Oh, she's laughing.
Yeah, she's laughing. And she
Yeah.
also says it's fear that drives the hate.
That
Yes,
is
Mendy.
true. And,
Yeah,
and
go ahead.
and Jesus said, we were to love our fellow human beings as we love ourselves, as we love God. What could be more loving than somebody donating their time and their energies and their talents to raising money for people who are in need? Just like and drag queens have stepped up to do that, not only in the LGBTQ plus community, but outside the community as well, because we are, those of us who are rainbow are a part of the bigger community at large, and we like to get involved. It's right that we get involved, and it's not right to be denied just because somebody's wearing the clothing of the opposite gender, the opposite sex. Somebody might be, have somebody that you might not approve of. Look at the intention behind why they're doing what they're doing. They're entertainers, number one. They have creativity. Drag queens are damn funny.
Oh,
You've never been to a drag show. You've got some really good comedy going on there.
And also, don't see you're messing with the wrong group. Okay?
I know.
Drag queens will take you apart. They who do you think started the Stonewall riot?
Exactly.
It was drag queens. So they're the reason why we have again 50 years of re-education on the queer community. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, that's the they are the ones who will read your beads, that's for sure. So yeah.
So what does it mean here? I think we're getting a cryptic message here. Only Woodford Reserve.
Are you familiar with the bourbon Woodford Reserve?
No, tell me about that.
Well, that's Mindy's family's company.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Mindy. We do. So Robert, see, when Reverend Robert Brzezinski, the Chief Inspirational Officer of the New Thought Media Network, when we go to conference, Robert is not known for his oratory. He's not known for his workshops. He is known for his bartending skills.
You got to hand it to Reverend Robert, though. For somebody who's not Irish, need I say?
Let me just say this: going to conference with Robert is a lot of fun.
It is,
and I have never seen ministers drink so much in my life.
Last year at the Congress in Chicago, where I was ordained, and you had special honor as well. There at the banquet, it was a trip watching a room full of ministers let their hair down.
And it's interesting when you go to minister association meetings, you'll notice the F word fly once in a while. You'll notice again people just being able.
Have you noticed that I behaved myself when it comes to that?
Well, thank you.
I'm not noted for that.
Well, thank you. And I really appreciate that, because I usually get called into the office on Monday morning saying, see me first thing in the morning. So,
but your defense has always got to be, well, that's how Reverend Jeff is. Have him on at your own peril. Yeah.
Mendy says, you guys are funny. Well,
Oh, honey, you have no idea.
hopefully we're getting across a very serious point about that. The whole idea is that we must continue again with meeting hate with love. And that involves, again, nonviolence. That involves us, again, getting out in the streets, marching at pride parades, having all the straight allies and other people, again, to support our LGBTQ brothers and sisters out there. And again, we have the opportunity here through New Thought. And again, Jeff, I mean, we have other wonderful ministers who just happen to be gay. And, to deny someone ministry. Again, I had a wonderful ministerial assistant, back like 14, 15 years ago, who held a license in the Nazarene church. They threw him out. And the guy had, you could tell this guy had, and he used to put on drag shows down in Florida. So, I mean, he was just a wonderful man who just had a heart for ministry. So
I had a black minister colleague. We were talking about gay men in the church, and he was funny. He said, black people are a little more tolerant of the LGBTQ community. He said, because if it wasn't for y'all, he said, we wouldn't have a music department. We wouldn't have a decent choir. We wouldn't have excellent singing.
Absolutely, because it's good for business.
Well, not only that, but we know what the hell we're doing. There.
Well, again, it's just, and I've had African American colleagues say the same thing: is that you would be surprised and said how many people, again, especially in the black church, the music department, how many gay choir directors that you have.
Yeah.
Boy, Mendy, you're really chatty this evening. Says, I don't understand why people object to the joy that comes from people who are different. But aren't we all different? Absolutely, Mendy. And that's the whole idea of inclusion and tolerance. And that the whole idea of us going ahead and, again, speaking out for what is right, being allies, attending events like this. Now, again, don't let the haters hate here. If they're going to do that, then again, let's go ahead and be loving towards them, not hate them, but understand that they are in error, that they're not really, that they're coming from an expression that's much different than ours. But again, like you said, you quoted Jesus earlier, love one another, pray for the people who are your enemies and people who are against you. And I wish that Christian teaching was also adhered to by the people who think that you and I are heretics.
Wouldn't that be nice? Here's a thought that crossed. Jesus, you were talking about I was thinking in my mind's eye, we need to shine our light. A lot of us grew up in church, singing that song, "This Little Light of Mine, I'm going to let it shine." Well, the master teacher said that men don't light a candle and put it under a bushel, but they put it on a candlestick so that it gives light to everybody in the house. Now, here's the thing. Oh, meeting hatred with love is what you were talking about. If hatred were darkness, then love is light. The only thing is, there is no such thing as darkness. Darkness is only the absence of light. Light does not replace darkness. When you turn on a light in a dark room, when you turn that lamp on, the darkness flees, because it's a no thing. It's a non-entity. It doesn't really exist. The light exists.
Yes.
The love that we express in the world, that is the truth. That is the real deal. That is the real thing. The hatred, we are all expressions of the divine.
Mhm.
We are all expressions of God. However, because we were given free will, some of us have made choices that were maybe not as loving as they could have been. There's still, that person is still a part of God, is still a spark of God.
Yes.
But that love that we can show can overcome the hatred that they are mistakenly putting out into the world.
We are over time here, Jeff Radcliff. Again, thank you very much. Thank you for your ministry. Thank you for being you. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. And again, I know you'll be back.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Before we go, if you want to check me out on Facebook, go to Facebook and look for Giatti Ministries. That's Giatti Ministries, and you'll see some of the things that I post on there. Also, this Sunday, if you're not doing anything, I will be speaking for Reverend Carolyn Young at the Center for what is I can't remember the name.
Center for
Systol.
Spiritual
Yes.
Awareness or something.
Spiritual,
like
yes. Community of Spiritual Discovery and Awareness, something to that effect. Oh my gosh. CSDAAL.org. 11:11 a.m. on the East Coast, 10:11 for me.
Yes. So understand it's 11:11.
11:11.
That's when they start their service. 11:11.
Yes.
Reverend Jeff Radcliff, again, thank you so very much. Come
Thank
back
you.
again soon. Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right. Hey, we are overtime. Just wanted to let you know that starting now on YouTube, we have a very special concert streaming from our spiritual leaders' home this evening. Reverend Robert and also Laura Brzezinski are presenting this evening, Gary Lynn Floyd, and they are online now on YouTube. So check them out. Again, great show this evening. Again, being streamed live for you. If you could, again, check out our website, ntmedia.org. Please consider donating. Again, it really goes a long way for us to get this message of love and light to the world. On behalf of all of us here at the New Thought Media Network, I am Reverend Michael Mangus, and I'm going to wish you a wonderful week.
Thanks for joining us this evening for Friday's Fireside Chat with Pastor Michael Mangus. Join us again next week at 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain for more spiritual conversations for today. For more information and replays of past shows, please visit the New Thought Radio and Media Network's Facebook page. Until next week, may God bless you richly and abundantly.